In our previous class in database management system, we have seen how we use MySQL Workbench in order to create a database, to drop a database, to create a table, and also to use a select statement in displaying all fields in the table. In this class today, we are still going to use MySQL Workbench and type some of the MySQL commands in order to see how we can be able to drop this created table, as well as try to at least modify or alter this table by at least dropping some of these fields, as well as inserting a field and then try to insert a value inside a created database. This is what we are going to look at in today's class. Follow me as I lead you through your practical guide. So from here we can launch click on our news connection, and we are seeing this is query 1. That is not the file that we are working with. So we can come to file, open our SQL script, because we want to open the scripts we've saved yesterday. We save it with csv313 practical.sql. We click on it and then click open, and this is the database that we are having. And as you can see, this is rightly selected, and meaning that anything that we can be able to do here, we can be able to effect here is on what csv313 database. So on this database we have many things that we have shown yesterday. That's about creating the database, drop the database, creating this table, and as well as using this table. So we also see how we can be able to select all the tables or all the fields in the table. So let's try to use our showcase. That's we said show. We are saying from here we want to show table, so we can type show then tables. So this will now display all the tables that are under csv313 database. Let's run this one and see. So as you can see, we have only one table created here. So as well as if we want to have we want to see the description of this table, so we can decide to use describe. We use describe. Then what is the table name that we want to describe? The table name is a person, right? So person, so semicolon. So let's run on this. So until we can see here, we are having this as a description, personal person ID, which is the integer type, and it's not null, and it's a primary keys, and it's going to auto increment. Last name is going to contain a varchar of a length 50, and it's also not null. Then the other ones are what can contain null. Not null and null, meaning that not null they cannot be empty, null they can be empty. So these are the function of these two very keywords here. So let's look at how we can be able to drop this very table that we have created earlier. So if we try to create a drop, we use the same drop table, just like the way we drop our database earlier. And we type drop, we now type table. What is the table name now? This is what we are going to type. Then we try to effect this also. So if we effect this, we know definitely we can come back to this and then run our show table in order to see. So now you see with this command, now we don't have any table created. I hope this we are following this very well, please. So you see with this effect of drop table, we'll be able to drop this. So likewise, I'll just go back to this my table and then create this database. So if I want all my fields here to be not null, so I might decide to copy this not null, paste them here, so that all of these are going to be not null. So I'm going to run this and see we have created this successfully. So we can come back to show table and then run this command. So you see we are having one table, so we can move to describe, and as well as running this describe. So as you can see, they are all not null now, so we have altered it. So this is how you are going to be using these very commands. So also now we have created how many fields in the table. So we have person, we have last name, we have first name, we have address, we have local government. So if for instance we want to delete any of the field here, the field person, last name, first name, address, and what have you. So for instance we want to remove last name, or if we want to remove address, or any field here that we want to remove. So the only thing is like we are going to use this command or statement called alter table, because we want to alter table, we want to modify it, right? So what is the table name that we want to alter? The table name is the person. So what are we going to do? We want to drop a certain command. So the command for this is drop what are we dropping? A field, and a field we know that is a column. So we want to drop a column. And what is the name of the column that we want to drop? Is it LGA, is it address, or what have you? So we want to drop address, local government. So semicolon. Let's run on this and then go back to this describe table. Let's try to run it and see. So you see now we doesn't have what local government here. So also now we've seen how we add this in a table, right? We drop this field in a table. So also if you want to add any column in a table, so we are going to write the same thing using alter table command. Alter table command, there is an arrow here, alter table command. So what is the table we want to alter? We want to alter person. So what do you want to do here? It's like we want to add, right? We want to add. What are we adding? We are adding column. We are adding column, add column. So what are we adding now to this very effect? We are adding back our local government. So instead of local government, let's write city now in order to see the difference. We are adding city. So this is what we are going to do. So we now run on our scripts, then come back to this describe, try to run it and see. So this city is not added. So what is the problem? The city is not added because we have missed the syntax of creating a field. So you know, if you're creating a field, you have, first of all, you have the field name, you have the data types and so I did not specify the data type here. So the data types is going to be varchar and it's going to contain the same, let's assume maybe this time around is 25. And is it going to be null or not null? It's going to be not null. And that's all. We run this and then come back to our describe and then see. So you see with this we have added this very field in the table. So you have seen how we have I drop the table, add the table, create a table, drop a field, add a field, use show table in order to see the list of the table on the database, use describe in order to see the structure of your schema. So to insert a record into these tables, that means it's going to contain numerous records in each table. So what we are going to do now, we are going to add values to it, and to do that we are going to use a syntax called insert into. So what are we inserting? Insert into. Are we inserting to which tables? So in case if we have many tables, so person's table, right? So what are the fields that are we inserting? We know that our person ID are already on auto increment, so it's going to be incremented one after the other. So we are inserting last name, first name, address, middle name, and whatsoever. So this is what we are adding. So we have last name, comma, first name. Make sure at this point they are case sensitive, please. Then we have address and we have city. Then we close this bracket. So now this is what we are going to add. So now what left is to add the values. Now values is what we are going to add. So we are adding values to to the first one. So we are coming back to write what is the first first and the last name. Let me start with this Bamanga. Then but there is one thing here. If you are trying to add if you are adding a string, you must separate it with a single quote, please. But if it is just a number, you just leave it like this. Are we together? So what I mean here, should in case if there is a column that we want to add, let's assume before we add this, let's try to add a column here called maybe phone number, please. Alter table name, let's say phone number. This time around is int, and it's going to contain 11. Let's assume it's 11, but may make it 15, and it's going to be not null. Let's make it can be null or not null, please. So we can run this as well as try to see our describe, because our describe will lead us. So, and you see this is our phone number, right? So we can come back to this very place or this very portion and add comma phone number. So if our phone number is there, we know this first we separate it with column again, then we have is it first name? We have first name again, comma, we have address, comma, we have what again? City, right? So for the phone number, you just type your what? Your phone number. Sorry, I missed. This is what? This is Mahmoud, please. Mahmoud. Address, we said computer science department, and then the city we might decide to say Lafia. Then the phone number, we might just use our normal phone number. So this is our phone number. So you see this phone number is not within the single quote, so we can run this. It's run and it's altered. So for us to, if we try to run our describe now, we cannot be able to see the content. But if we use a select statement called select from, select all, sorry, we are going to use asterisk as all, select all from person. So this is what we are going to use. We are selecting everything from what? Or all from person. So we run this. So you see now, this is the content of our data. Are we okay? So also we can come back again, and so we know we have added this, we have seen it from here, and then we have this. So if for instance we are having issue with to say of this on this Lafia, we want to change it to Yola. So this time around we are going to use update. What are you updating? We want to update a table called person, and this table we want to say it. What are we adding? What is city, right? The city is what we want to. So city, where city is equals to. So this time around, what do you want to add in the city? We want to add Yola instead of the earlier life here, right? So then where the primary key now, where person ID is equals to what? Person ID is equals to 0. Are we together? So update person table, or update a table called person, and the place the field you want to update is city, and you want your current city to be called Lafia instead Yola instead of Lafia, where the person ID is 0. So let's run this and see. So there is an issue, duplicate entry 0, but we are running. So you see this it has been affected, right? So let's come back to this select from and see what's up. You see this thing has gone to Yola. So that's how you've been able to achieve all these things. Thank you for being with us.